Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Bill. I'm an expat living in the Philippines. So today we're going to prep and get ready to start another batch. And I wanted to tell you what I'm doing and why. So I have, if you've seen my pantry videos, more than a dozen, probably 2 dozen of these large boxes of Idahoan mashed potatoes. These are not instant mashed potatoes. They'll require margarine. In my case, I'm substituting margarine that has 0 fat and non-fat milk. So it requires milk, salt, water, and margarine to make the mashed potatoes. Now, we're gonna go down and Rakad's gonna go ahead and make all these up for us, and then we'll come up and I'll show you what it looks like before I put it on the trays. I'm gonna add some pepper, and I was thinking about putting some cheese in some of it just to see how mashed potato and cheesy comes out. We'll see how that goes later today when we're cooking. But the expiration date for these potatoes are the best by date, I should honestly call it, because we all know what that really means. And I'm looking at the box here. I don't see it off the top of my, here it is. Best before April 2023, right? So today is March 13th. So obviously, it's a recommended date, right? So I could repackage all these potatoes into Mylar, or I can just do what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and make them instant mashed potatoes by freeze drying them. That way they'll be good for 10 years plus. And then if I ever need them, I just have to add water. I don't need to go find butter or milk or anything else that might or might not be available if I'm breaking into my emergency food. So why don't you guys stand by for 2 seconds? I'll be right back with you, and I'll have those mashed potatoes all cooked up. I'm guessing on how much. I'm gonna go with 4 boxes to see if that'll fill up my trays. If not, I'll add more. I'll let you know the count in the end. So 2 seconds, be right back. All right, so I'm back downstairs with Rakad, and we're mixing up the mixes. I did the math, and I'm using only 3 boxes, not 4. And then I added 8 cups extra milk to make it more creamy. And what we did here is, let me back up so you can see. Say hi, Rakad. So what I did here is I put some pepper, and I put 5 tablespoons of pepper as well as the margarine and the milk. And it tastes great. We're just making sure that it's getting really mixed really well. And then you will next see us when I take it up to put on the table to get it into the trays. So stand by 2 seconds. 2 seconds. All right, I made it back upstairs. This big pot of mashed potatoes, I'm gonna get it cubed out. 5 trays should equal 45 to 50 cups. And this recipe is 45 to 50 cups. So I'm gonna get it on the tray, and then we're gonna find out how well everything matches up. Butter, salt, pepper, milk, 3 boxes of mashed potatoes. It tastes great, it's creamy. We're gonna get it on the trays. 2 seconds. All right, so now I know 3 boxes of the mashed potatoes will probably make 7 trays of stuff. This is 5 full trays, and they're full. And I still have what looks like 2 trays, almost 2 trays left over. So if I make this recipe again, I know to make it 2 boxes at a time if I'm doing a 5-tray run. As it is, I'm gonna have 2 trays of mashed potatoes left over. I might just make some more, so I just back-to-back mashed potatoes. Anyways, I'm gonna get the lids on these guys. I'm gonna get them in the deep freeze, let them freeze solid, and you'll see me next when I'm pulling them out of the deep freeze and sticking them in the harvestright. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back everyone. Told you it was only 2 seconds. Anyways, it has been 24 hours, give or take, and I have pulled the first 5 of 7 trays of mashed potatoes out of the freezer, and I'm gonna go ahead and get them put in. I have pre-frozen the harvestright, and I have closed the drain valve. So let's go ahead and get these first 5 trays started. Let me get this guy open. Oh. These are full trays too. I packed them because I was hoping to fill up just 5, but in the end it came out to be a full 7 trays. So again, I'm at a quandary of what to do for 3 random trays so I have a full load to process. Now these mashed potatoes are really good. I was really happy about the flavor profile. I did add salt, pepper, butter, and even extra milk to give it a more a more creamy texture. Now the one thing I will say is I'm glad I opened that box, or 3 boxes of these mashed potatoes that I had, because I was under the impression that it was probably inside the box. The potatoes were inside a plastic bag. They weren't, they were just dumped right in the box. So that's a concern. I need to make sure I take care of the other mashed potatoes. I at least need to repackage them into Mylar or something if I don't go ahead and cook them up. So I might just double down and make all the mashed potatoes and make them all instant. Anyways, let's get running here. So we now have the counter started on 5 trays of mashed potatoes. I'll see you in 2 seconds when I pull them out of the freeze dryer. Stand by. Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Bill. I am back here at the mashed potatoes. These guys have been running for a long time, 70 hours. It's quite a process. I'm not surprised because the amount of milk and water I put in these guys. But it's amazing also how much ice has built up on the sides of the trays. Now, one of my subscribers mentioned that I should get ice blockers for those bottom trays, and I think I'm going to look into that. Now, my one fear is this one bottom tray might not be done, but it feels like it is, so that's good. These trays are all done. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and hit no defrost. These potatoes, looks like they're extremely shrunk. Yeah, they're light. Okay, so I'm afraid to touch it too much because it might just collapse. Let me go ahead and hit no defrost here so we can get rid of the noise. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bag these potatoes up, and I'm going to bag them up in large bags again, because if I'm breaking in this food, I'm feeding a large amount of people, in reality. Now, I already have another set of potatoes to go back in, so you probably won't catch another freeze-dry video for maybe a week at the rate that first batch took to dry. So stand by. I'm going to bag these up, show you what it looks like bagged up, and then like always, we'll go downstairs and we'll rehydrate some. So give me 2 seconds. All right, welcome back. So I had 5 trays and I have 5 large bags of mashed potatoes, double seal, oxygen absorbers, etc., etc. They're all inside. I do have a small sample I will take downstairs and we'll rehydrate. You'll see that in a minute. If you're asking about the color being a little yellow, I'm telling you that's due to the black pepper powder I added and the butter. So we're gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna clean this mess up, put the potatoes in long-term storage. We'll go downstairs, I'll rehydrate them, and we'll have a taste test. Stand by 2 seconds. All right, welcome back. We are downstairs. I cleaned up the mess upstairs, and we are going to rehydrate this mashed potato. So I don't know if you can see it with the light, but it is kind of a yellowish color, and you can see the pepper. But one thing when I was packaging this, and I want to show you just how dry this is. I mean, it just crumbles right into powder instantly. There's absolutely dried. Now I'm going to add some hot water slowly. Again, I know a lot of water came out, but I want to take this slow because I don't want it to be runny mashed potatoes. All right, that's a big shot of water there. Now I used just a half-size portion here. I didn't want to make a huge portion. Let me set the camera down a second so I can film this a little better. Now with mashed potatoes, you can pretty much rehydrate them to preference. Now this looks a little stiff yet, and there's still some chunks, so I'm just going to add just a little more water. Hopefully not too much, because I do want it to be rehydrated. I don't want to eat sandy or gritty mashed potatoes. But this stuff comes right back. I mean, I'm not even sure if I have to let it wait too long, but I probably will. Just let it sit for a minute or two. I'm going to add just a little bit more as well. So the consistency here is completely up to you and what your preference would be. I just want to make sure I get a nice creamy mashed potato, but not a runny mashed potato. I want to make sure it's all rehydrated because I don't want it to be sandy or gritty as well. So this is what it looks like, instantly rehydrated. I'm going to taste some now because I'm curious, but it might need to sit for a little bit. So let's try a little taste here. Well, the pepper is there. You know, it's mashed potatoes. It's really good. It's rehydrated pretty quick. And it doesn't surprise me because it was extremely dried out after 70 some hours. So mashed potatoes, long time. The longest thing I've ever had run, produced the most ice. But it's also a good thing to have freeze-dried and in your long-term storage. So you won't get a video for a while because I'm going to be smashing the extra potatoes I already had ready, lined up, and get those out. And so stand by. I'll have something new maybe in a week for freeze-drying. And if you like this video, please, pound on that like button. If you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, go check out my stuff. Maybe there's something you like. If you don't like something, comment below. I can always try to make adjustments if I'm not doing this. Remember, I'm no social media expert. I'm new to all this. It's only been 8 months. And I do appreciate everyone that does watch my videos. Once again, thank you very much.